why are we so greedy? Why is it never enough? So let's understand. We'll have to go a little deep in our past, so our biological roots. See, our ancestors were wired for survival. Like in those past prehistoric times, they had to go out, to hunt and to get things. And there were harsh conditions. There were rainy days. There were winters, cold winters, hot summers. So they had to accumulate things for the difficult days. So they needed to go out, face the danger. There were wild animals. So there was a risk they used to take every day, and they used to hoard a lot of things, for the rainy day. So that has come into the genes. And in spite of making so much progress now that we have everything, we have everything at the tip of our fingers. If you want some food, if you want to order something, within 15 minutes it comes on the app. If you want ready-made food, you can order food in half an hour. But still, our brains are wired in that survival mode. And many of us are hoarding a lot of things, not just food, but money also, status, and our possessions. So these are the days of the apps, with Amazon and the Flipkart and the Myntra. And there are so many offers every day. 50% discount, 60% discount, buy 2 get 5 free. And those offers are so irresistible that you don't need so much. You don't need that particular product, but you are buying it just to get that offer. Maybe you'll need it someday. I have people coming to me where they have a whole room specially dedicated for the things that they buy. One of my patients, his mother would say, "Doctor, we can start a shop now." So this holding, that I'll need it somewhere. I'm getting a good bargain. I'm getting a good discount. So that is like greed. There's some insecurity, some void that this person is trying to fill. Saving for the rainy day. So all these, have roots in our prehistoric times. We need to be aware that, we are out of that era. We are now in a modern era where things are available. We have education, we have good jobs, we have good businesses. There are so many things that you can do and monetize. So we are in the best of times, in this internet era. But still, we are operating from a scarcity mindset. And of course, there is this social race. We compare ourselves constantly to other people. So in this era of Facebook and Instagram, where people post a lot of lovely pictures of their vacation, of the new car that they bought. And when you see that picture and you think, that I also need to upgrade my car. Though your car is just 3 years old, it's still working fine. It's just run 60,000 kilometers. But still you think that, you feel small, looking at other people's cars and houses and their vacation photos. You're on this holiday weekend outing, and you see on Instagram that one of your friends, he's in Maldives, and such beautiful landscapes, and you think that your weekend trip is not much in compared to that. So you lose the fun of your weekend trip. Isn't that pathetic? You're not able to enjoy what you're doing, what you're having. So tell me, how many of you have posted something on Instagram and you have kept checking for likes? How many people have liked? Who has liked? Most of us, we crave for digital validation. More likes, more followers, it feeds our ego. But in this process, we become addicted for superficial approval, stressing over algorithms and filters. Last time, I had 121 likes and 22 comments. But this time, I got less likes. I have to do something more. I have to do something different. people, tend to do all sort of funny things, just to get attention. Sometimes, they tend to do controversial things also, to attract attention. And many a times they make a fool of themselves just to seek that approval, that social validation. So is your happiness, is your joy, happiness dependent on whether other people like you or not, then your remote control is in their hands. And also, there is an illusion that if you have more, you will be more happy. So many of us believe that if we have more things, better car, better house, bigger house, better holidays, we'll be happier. But let me ask you, when you just started working, when you got your first paycheck, do you remember how excited you were? It was just the beginning. It was a small salary, but you celebrated, you enjoyed, you bought gifts for people, for your family members, your friends, and you were really thrilled about, that your career has started, and you had plans, you have dreams of making it big. And now fast forward to today, now you are a senior, your salary has increased almost maybe 5 to 10 times of what you first got. But do you have the same excitement now? No. Why? Because we keep moving the goalpost. We keep upping the bar. And you become familiar with that happiness, that it doesn't sound so exciting anymore. And you have the next goal to achieve. So we all know there are so many people who own multiple properties. They have a flat where they live, and they have invested in a weekend home, in a farmhouse, and they hardly go there. They're just paying maintenance charges every month. And there is one more piece of land, and they want to invest there also. This greed to get more profit, it really drives up the prices. Making homes unaffordable for many other people, who need it. Yet they continue to buy just to own some more, to feel more secure and to feel wealthy. So having monetary wealth is not being wealthy. It's not the only definition of being wealthy. Real wealth could be in various forms. In fact, monetary wealth, definitely one parameter. But if you're happy, if you have peace of mind, if you're happy, satisfied, if you're content, if you have time for your family, if you're enjoying your wealth, if you're giving time to your relationships, if you're spending time for yourself, for your hobbies, for the things that you really like, that would be being wealthy. But it's not just monetary wealth that will make you wealthy, but it's a combination of so many things, which would encompass a more holistic definition of wealth. And on the larger level, human beings, as a human race, we have been exploiting this earth so much. The environment, the forest, the kind of concretization that is happening, cutting of trees, the climate is changing. So we are utilizing the resources left, right, and center without thinking about the future. And all this industrialization, the pollution of the air and water, and for profits, for monetary gains, for more industries, more luxuries. But what is the result? There is climate change. There are certain species which are getting extinct. There are natural disasters. There are floods. There are famines. There are droughts. So our greed, under the name of development, We have been really draining the earth's resources. This greed is really going to be very costly. And then there is greed between countries, greed for power, greed for more space, land, oil, power. The way China is encroaching on the neighbors in all ways, on all fronts. It's really very disturbing. The greed to dominate, the greed for power, the greed to dictate terms. That has resulted in so many problems for many. And these wars, they have resulted in countless deaths and suffering.